So they're feeling worse today than they did before they started the healing journey.
And then, yeah, when you say the word self-discovery, it feels like it's higher. It feels like it's not digging in the dirt, in the ground.
Our dream at the end is to feel fulfilled and happy.
That's me going into the darkness and this heaviness.
The problem is, though, that it made me feel less of myself.
And guess what? The hole doesn't end. There is no end. There is no bottom. And hello, welcome to Expand with Mel and Rain, another episode with us. Thank you for connecting with us. We are so excited for all of you here listening and, like I said, just connecting with us today. So we're just going to dive right in. What we wanted to talk about was healing today and the healing journey and kind of what that's meant for me personally. I have been on a deep dive in this world since 2019 is when I really hit that hard. And for me, it was opening with I had a plant medicine ceremony that really cracked the nut open in my life and in my world to everything that wasn't working in my life, and realizing I had been invalidating myself in so many ways and lying to myself in so many ways. And then for the past several years, it's just been a deep dive into the depths of that. And once I kind of became out of my little shell, my numb shell, I just started to realize all these different areas where I really was lying to myself and trying to pretend like things were working when they weren't. And it's like I couldn't unsee it or unfill it. Once I tapped into that and I started to started to connect with my heart space, I couldn't not feel things that weren't working. Where before, when you're numb, it's easy to not feel those things, or to feel and see kind of what's going on. And the truth is, it's been intensive and it's been a lot. I felt like a snake that's just constantly shedding skins, like nonstop, to the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted. Like, can I please just have a week off? Like, I'm not digging for more. It's just like, as soon as one thing I look at it, like, for example, maybe I wasn't good at setting boundaries. And I realized, oh, I'm horrible at setting boundaries. I let people walk all over me. And then I finally feel like I figured that one out. I'm like, okay, I've got that figured out. And I'm feeling good and I'm feeling free. And then all of a sudden there's something else that's just shown to me right in front of my face of, oh, I don't trust myself. Oh, okay, now I need to go look at that. And then I'm sitting with that. And it's just been one thing after another. And I've gotten to the point where, I mean, it's been good. Obviously, I needed to, because that's over 40 years of deception and lies to myself that needed to be looked at. Also, it's gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm just exhausted. I'm over it. I don't want to be healing anymore. I want to be I want to play. I want to have fun. And I keep saying I want that, but yet I keep feeling this heavy energy that I carry around and keep seeing what's not working. And I'm like, I'm so sick of surviving. I don't want to just be surviving underwater and above water. I want to thrive in life. I want to fly in life. And I'm like, where are those people? Where are those people that want to play and have fun? Where are those adults that want to play and have fun? And the truth is, I feel like it's just been, at least for me, it's been hard to find them, because I was surrounded by people that were also numb, and a lot of them still are. They're just not ready to look at, again, all the areas where maybe they've lied to themselves or stuffing things. And then the new people that I found they're also on their healing journey. So they're deep into their healing and they're still in it. And now that I feel like I'm finally, I've worked so hard to move my way out of that, I'm like, where are those people? How do I be that person? And so I've been just really working on figuring that out. And then I meet beautiful Rain, who has she's over the whole healing thing too. And in fact is I don't even like using those words. And she's going to talk more about kind of the shift and the transformation of, it's not even healing. It's, we want to, I don't know, Rain, I'm going to let you talk about how that is for you. And yeah.
Thanks, Mel. I love it when Mel shares. Just so, it's beautiful. But yeah, so similar journey, doing the healing work for God knows how many years. I think it was 20 years or more. It's those, every self-help book, every workshop, every ceremony, everything possible, and piling them all up. They're all well, in an hour I've got this thing, and then in 2 hours I've got this, and I have to have time to read this, and I'm online here, but I'm traveling here for that workshop, and was constantly like figuring out like what's the best healing path. But for me, I was doing all the search for myself, but I was also doing it for clients, right? Because the minute I would get something, I'd be like, I can help this person, this person. So I was gathering so much information because, first of all, the excitement was to have clients. But to sit alone and do all the stuff was nice and fun, right? But then it would get boring because it'd be like, well, this isn't really working the same way that all these people are mentioning. Like, oh, I felt elated and I felt happy and I was released and I never, and there's all this over exaggerated responses to any modality. And so every time I would hear someone say, this was the best thing ever, I'd rush to it. And I wouldn't experience specifically what they might have experienced. So this just would push me to I think, oh, well, it's me. Maybe I didn't get it right. Maybe I didn't really hone in the way that person did. So then I jumped to the next thing and the next thing. And for all these years of doing that, around 5 years ago, I gave up the whole notion. There was so much healing information in my system, so many modalities, so many techniques, and I lived in so many countries. So it's not only one culture, it's many cultures, many different systems, many different healing modalities, many different authors, many different religions, many different everything. So if I was consumed, and what happens is, I'm sure a lot of people have done maybe even more gathering of information and working themselves. But what happens is, the more we fill up our minds with information and techniques and tools, and wait, I'm supposed to do this one here. No, this one's here. Oh, this is how I'm supposed to journal. Not journal. I'm supposed to say the affirmations this many times. Wait, not that. I'm supposed to do Ho'oponopono. Wait, EFT. Wait, this. And you're grabbing everything that codes and, and emotional charts. And what happens is you're in your head. That's it. You've just fed the brain too much information that you're definitely not just like, you're not in the flow of anything. You're mentally in a prison cell, because now there's this whole, when people share how they feel after, you want that feeling they have when they share, oh my God, I finally found myself. I made millions in my business, or I'm now with the perfect partner, or now I have the house I've dreamt of. Like, there's this end result of like a really joyous person who's manifested their dream due to this technique or this one or this one or this one. Even hypnosis, like everything. So what happens is, now we have a jail in here, and it's like a prison cell, because we've got all these self-help books and episodes and people we've watched so much, and our dream is to be happy. Our dream at the end is to feel fulfilled and happy and at ease, and that we can get everything we desire in life. And as long as we don't reach it, we're disappointed, right? We're disappointed, and our brain's like, wait, try this modality, try this. Call her. Here, channel her, listen to him or listen to her. And I'm not saying that doing all that is not amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I had the time in my life doing all that. The problem is, though, that it made me feel less of myself. And with my clients, I noticed it makes them feel a lot less of themselves, right? So they're feeling worse today than they did before they started the healing journey, because the healing journey started to take them down paths, things that they're interested in. They didn't know about the soul and the human and the planetary systems, and they're all excited. So it's for gathering information. But then as they start to reflect upon their life, they start to notice feeling a lot worse, right? I'm like digging too much. Is it ancestral? Is it from the womb? Because there's like, is it ancestral? Is it mom? Is it dad? Is it my timeline? Wait, there's something in my past that I don't remember, that my body remembers, but my mind doesn't remember. Let me retrieve that information, because maybe that's why I'm unhappy. And so we're all looking for ways to understand, why are we unhappy? So it isn't even healing, actually. In essence, it's not even healing. We're looking for our happiness, right? But we're just using the terminology healing. And healing now has become, in a way, it's become, like, the sentence for it is, I'm broken. I need to be fixed because when I'm fixed, then I'll finally be happy and have everything I want. Right? So it becomes this healing escapade forever and ever and ever. And no, and honestly, like no matter how much you open up and how much you dig in, you will always find something else to discover. It's just the way this universe has been built. It's like the stars. At first, they thought we were flat, and then they discovered we're round, and then after we're round, they discovered we've got all these planets. Oh, and we've got a solar system, and then there are solar. Like the further out you keep discovering, it's endless. The universe is endless, and we are internally endless. I mean, we have so much. So to keep digging to heal, to find the happiness, it feels like at some point, and I was saying this in one of the workshops where Mel was there, and I was just saying, what if you drop healing, like the word healing itself? You just take it and you just throw it in the garbage. You just say, I'm done with this, because that's not what you're really looking for. You're really looking for inner peace, right? That's actually the truth, right? But if I'm looking, this is interesting. This is new. So if I am looking for inner peace, but I'm using the idea that I need healing to find inner peace. That means there's something wrong with me internally, me or my ancestors or my DNA or whatever the hell is wrong with me. I have to fix this to find inner peace. And almost everyone in the world is trying to fix this. So they're in the healing world to find their inner peace. And hardly anybody has found it, that inner peace. The people who have found it were not on a healing journey. They were not pursuing healing as a thing. It wasn't purpose. And that's why I was like, I couldn't wait. I couldn't know. Because now healing has become a purpose, right? So many people in the world now, their purpose is healing. Either I heal me or my purpose is to heal others, right? So now it's become this thing, right?
It keeps perpetuating itself. The loop doesn't end.
It doesn't end. So now I'm going to heal myself. I feel better so that I can heal others, right? But are you happy? There's kind of this like pretend environment that I want everyone to be aware of, right? This pretend environment in YouTubes or people who speak. There's this lie, and the only reason I'm sharing this is, let me just share that I'm a reflector in human design. So I'm not calling out anyone or anything. This is just how I feel, right? There's a lot of lies taking place when you hear, well, I've made this and I'm the happiest person in the world, and I did this technique and I'm the happiest person in the world, or I've healed myself and I'm the happiest person in the world. If you're in a healing journey, you haven't been healed. It's that simple, right? If I'm a healer, then I'm not healed, and I can't heal somebody in front of me. I can dig them the same hole I've dug myself, right? I can do that. I can be like, well, try this book and read this and go here, and I can give them my 20 years of effort, right? I can offer that to them. However, when you let go of the word healing, and it does become your purpose, because don't forget, we're so bored today, right? So sometimes our purpose is to be with our soulmate, be a success at work, have the family, maybe move to a new country. Like, purpose is so many things, but if healing is your purpose, will you ever stop healing? Because without it, you're purposeless, right? So now if I have to constantly dig inside and figure out why I'm unhappy, why I'm miserable, or I'm so busy, I wake up every morning excited. Even if I'm depressed, I have something to work on, right? And then I hit a wall, and then somebody else, I find this new modality somewhere, and I can't wait to go and take this course or meet these people. Now I'm in purpose. And who's my purpose? My wounded self, right? The purpose is I am broken and I need fixing. That's the purpose. And it's interesting purpose, because if I'm saying to the universe, I'm broken and I need fixing all the time, and I'm not healed yet, there's something wrong with me because I'm not feeling happy, then naturally the universe will bow down and say, as you wish. This is the more of this you want. This is making you excited. This is making you feel like you have things to do during your day, right? And then you'll argue with someone, or you'll do this, and you'll be like, oh, that's because of my fault. let me figure out what is inside of me that causes this to happen, right? And it is exciting, and this is what the world is moving towards now. But at the same time, if you're looking for inner peace, healing is definitely not the word, because healing will always, always mean that you're still broken. It'll always mean that, right? I am healing, meaning really, I am not well and I am healing. So I'm constantly not well, right? And then we all complain, like, it doesn't work. None of the healing stuff works. I've tried all this. It's not working. And if so one thing works, we get so super excited that it works, then it doesn't work all the time, right? It loses its momentum. So then what's the thing? What's the thing to do? And the thing is, it's a lot simpler. It's really in the words we use. I'm self-discovering, meaning it's all I'm doing, right? I'm discovering more and more of who I am. Now, when just you say that out loud to yourself, I'm discovering more and more of who I am. That already makes you feel like you're complete and you're looking for more of you, right? Not bringing parts that are broken, trying to put the broken parts together. You are already something, but you want to keep discovering more and more of yourself. So even if you stop discovering more, you're already a lot. You don't need to continue self-discover, right? But anything, like you get angry, let's say. You get angry and you're not like, oh, there's something wrong with me. I healed this. I shouldn't be getting angry anymore. That's the healer thing, right? That's I'm still broken. I have to heal. Let's take with the this is an example with self-discovery, right? So, oh, I got angry. Ooh, how interesting. Goodness, so exciting. I felt anger. Wow. That's a part of me that I've just allowed myself to express even louder than ever before, right? Like who am I when I'm this angry? And it's not a judgment on how bad you are, or it's something to be released or deleted or gotten rid of, but it's something to experience more of within. Because most of us have an inability to experience our emotions because they're deemed wrong. So if I'm in the healing journey, then they're wrong. These emotions are wrong. They cannot exist. I can't feel sad or upset or depressed or angry or frustrated or humiliated. I'm not allowed to feel any of that. I have to be wiser, right? Because I've done the healing, right? And this book says that I shouldn't be feeling those things, or I could be doing that. And then remember, and it's not that I remember, and this was so long ago, this was like 2-3 years ago, right? I remember whenever I'd start to feel something, I'd go and journal about it, and then take it and wrap it and put it in the fire, like do fire ceremonies to release it, because it was a bad thing to feel that way, right? And then to only recognize that, how am I doing all this? Like it means nothing if I'm feeling this way. And who cares? So if my pursuit is to be happy, then that's also an illusion. It's a complete illusion to be consistently and continuously happy. But it's not an illusion to feel fulfilled. They're very different words. So instead of going after, I'm healing, just change the language. Just changing the language really changes your perception of life. So I'm not healing, I'm self-discovering, right? And self-discovering doesn't mean that I'm trying to discover what's crap about me. I'm self-discovering who I truly am, to live to who I truly am. I want to live to me, and if me is angry and frustrated and happy and sad and excited and in all the moods, fine. But can I be okay with who I am? And the second word was, what did I say? So it's the healing, and what was before that, Mel?
Purpose?
Purpose? Yes. Yes, thank you. And no more purpose being healing. Your purpose isn't to heal yourself or heal others. It's really not a purpose at all, because a purpose is very personal. It has nothing to do with others at all, right? So my purpose is to be peace. My purpose is to be fulfilled. Oh yeah, and the word fulfilled. So instead of I'm searching for happiness, how can I feel fulfilled in this moment? Not happy in this moment, because that doesn't even make sense. If you want to explain happy, you can't even explain it, because it really very much is a variable. What makes me happy today, like I'll have the most delicious burger in the world. If I have it 3 days from today, it won't taste as delightful. It will not bring me the same happiness because it's a variable. It's according to me, whatever mood I'm in. So fulfillment, though, is not a variable. For fulfillment is I'm just fulfilled. I'm neither too happy or too sad. I'm just fulfilled, right? And I can go up and I can go down, but I'm in this beautiful water of fulfillment. I'm fulfilled. You know, there's nothing I need or want, but I just am. So I think just changing words around and us to kind of just let go of the idea of I have to heal, which I think is really, really destroying a lot of people's mental health because it's years in the making. What do you think, Mel?
Yeah, I love that. And I realized too with the healing, like I just think about it and I images, it's like, and we talk about digging, like I'm digging stuff out and I'm like, that's in the darkness. That's me going into the darkness and this heaviness and this like, of course that sounds exhausting and it is exhausting and is not joyful and fun and bright. And then, yeah, when you say the word self discovery, it feels like it's higher. It feels like it's not digging in the dirt in the ground. And it's interesting with healing, so many people will talk about, like, oh, I'm doing my ancestral work and talking about past lives and all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, I don't even want to dig into any of that. And the truth is, like you said, if you want to dig, you can dig and dig and dig and dig and dig until you're dead. And guess what? The hole doesn't end. There is no end. There is no bottom. And I think that is the misconception, like you're saying with healing, that it's like somehow we think like if I dig enough, if I do enough digging into my past lives and this life and ancestral work and all of this, that somehow I'm going to find peace. And the truth is you're just on that journey until you die. And then you're not present. You're disconnected from those around you, including yourself. And so it's just like, we got to be really careful with that and be willing to step back and look at this. I remember when you first said that, it was like, whoa, what are you saying right now? And it made me second guess everything and question things like, but it just felt true to me. Like, oh, you're making a really good point, you know? And then like me, when I had gone through my healing journey and doing all this work and ceremonies, then I started to hold space for ceremonies. And I realized in this process, so I am doing these ceremonies. It's like dark, heavy work. The heaviest, my deepest stuff is coming up in pains. And then I'm holding space for others for their deepest, heaviest stuff to come up in their pains. And I'm like, is this really what I want to create? Like, this just feels like survival and then just getting others to survive. Like, that's the bare minimum. Like, death is below that. Like, is this really where I want to live? Is this thriving to me? And so really when I was able to take a step back and look at it and be like, and just start to see what's happening and feel what's happening and what I've been feeling and experiencing, I'm like, I don't want to play in that playground anymore. And if people like it and it's fun for them, I won't take that away from you. I don't believe in these right or wrongs. It's just like, is it working for you? Does it bring you joy and satisfaction and fulfillment? You know, is the big thing. Whatever
Yeah,
it is, if
because
you're
a lot of empaths, I love what you said, Mel, because a lot of empaths feel with other people, right? A lot of empaths will sense and feel. So if you are in the surrounding, environment with others who are releasing or feeling so much their pain, if other empaths are around or sensitive, they're taking that on. So now, like, you've got your stuff that you're trying to get rid of, but now you're all in the same space, emanating just the darkness out of you. And so imagine trying to even heal that. Now you've gotten other people's energies onto you. You can't even discover, like, was that mine? Was it not? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. And that's like, how can you really be in self discovery? And the thing is, though, I see it. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so genuine. People, it honestly gives me a love for mankind and these healers, these sensitives, these empaths, because the truth is, like, they get out of going through hell when a lot of times they didn't have anyone to help them. They figure it out on their own. And these healers have all these different modalities. That's where a lot of these past interviews that we've done on the previous podcast were all these different healing modalities and different people we were sharing different ways. But it's like, so as soon as they just figure out how to survive and be like, oh, it feels good to not be underwater, they're right above it. And they're like, it tastes so good to them that they want to offer it to others. How beautiful that they want to do that, but not realizing they're doing an expense to themselves of they're kind of crippling themselves when they do that. Again, they're the biggest heart. And I was doing the same thing. So I can take accountability that like, whoa, okay, that's beautiful. I want to do that, but I didn't fill my bucket completely full. It's like I got, I was used to being on like using my reserve tank all the time and knowing how to live like that. And then all of a sudden I go through my healing journey and like working on stuff. And it's like, oh, I'm above reserve. I've got a quarter of a tank now in me. I've never felt this before. I've never had this much. I've never felt this much before. Oh, I want to hurry and share it. And then thinking that all of a sudden somehow my bucket would feel full from others by me seeing satisfaction helping them. But the truth is, then that takes out from that half a tank. So at least I'm not in reserve. Unless I come back to my family, then sometimes they have to dip in the reserve. So it's like it's this game of this thing, and I just realized like, okay, this isn't really healthy for me. It's really not. I told myself this lie. I was believing it. But the truth is, I want to thrive. I want to fly. I want to soar. I want to be in self-discovery, which is like up in the air, up in the sky, like just more freer. It's like, what else is there? And so I feel like on my healing journey, I went to the depths of my pain and my hell. And I was there for way longer than I should have been for myself or would have liked to, but whatever, that was my path. But at least I figured it out. And now I'm like, now I want to know the depths of my heart. So that's for me self-discovery. I don't want to self-discover ancestral work, past lives. I literally have no desire to dig into that. And if there's any medicine or healing training person, whatever, that's like, well, I can go and do this. I don't want to go there. Why would I do that? I want to find the person that can work with me to self-discover and to play and to find the light, like, and the heart. I want to play in heart space. I want to feel how the depths of my heart and where that goes, not the pain. And I think so many of us get stuck in the pain, feeling that if we go in the pain, we're finally going to get to the bottom of the pain and that's going to free us. And it's an illusion. It's a lie. And it feels so good to admit that and free myself. And I'm new on this journey of this self-discovery. I just started with Rain, so anyways, that's why we're like, come play with us. Like, as we're figuring it out, if you like the sound of that and it feels truthful to you, we're going to share and play with you. So anyway, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that too.
Yeah, I loved what you said because so many things are so true, Mel. It's like in any direction in life, the more you try to find something, you will find more of. It's just the way it is. So if I'm going to, whatever you're looking for, that means you don't have. Like, so everything in life is so upside down, right? So it's like, okay, whatever I don't have, I'm going to be looking for. So if I don't have happiness, I'm looking for happiness, right? But therefore I don't have it. So I'm looking for it, but I'm not going to get it because, right? The universe is like, oh, keep looking, have fun. This is the year. But then again, it's like, the more I dig into something, it's endless. So I don't find a problem with ancestral healing at all. I have one of my dearest and best friends is an ancestral healer. She does it very differently though. And it has nothing to do with, I don't have to decode anything, I don't have to know anything. It's just more of like, that is self-discovery. Like, yeah, I'm going to go into, oh, it's so weird. I have so much frustration. Is this mine? Solely just mine? And then you'll hear or you'll feel, you're like, oh, this is completely mine. Could be ancestral. Could be somebody else's I picked up on the street. Could be anything. Shall I spend time digging up where I got this anger from? Where is the, I think this is real thing. Like, you discover this thing, right? And then you can choose. Shall I choose to figure out frustration? Is this from my ancestors? Is it from my own timeline? Is it because I bumped into someone in the supermarket who's feeling thing? Is because I'm super sensitive? Truly, who cares? Because you'll find out that most of the world has frustration. So it's definitely ancestral, definitely your timeline, and definitely somebody else's energy. But it's like, to ask self is, why do I want to know? Because I want to feel better. Is there a way I can feel better now without having to know? Because knowing it is not going to help. It's not going to Like I've discovered when I call something out to myself loudly, it kind of disappears. Like when I call it out to myself, I am so frustrated now and I'm consumed with frustration. And I say, and I'm okay with that. The minute that happens, the minute I voice it to me, because now I've recognized how I feel and I'm letting myself hear how I feel and giving myself permission to feel it, it releases. And I even tracked it, it releases ancestrally too. Because I voice that which is hidden, but without having to dig, right? So you give it a voice. You give yourself the freedom to voice it. So I remember a few months ago, I was in the car and somebody had said something to me, and it really hurt my feelings. I mean, it really hurt my feelings. And I wanted to disagree with them. I wanted to say no, and I wanted to make my point, but at the same time, I didn't want to get into an argument or my opinion against yours and whatever. It was going to go into this mucky place, and I wasn't in the mood. So I got in the car, and I noticed the first thing my head saying is, you should have said, why didn't you answer back this way? If you were healed, if you did. And then I just stopped it all, and I'm like, okay, what do I need to know now? Right? So there's this thing happening. And then I was like, what would I said, I don't agree with your point of view. That's all I said in the car. I'm like, and I did this with my head. Nope, I disagree with your point of view. I disagree and I don't like it. And I said it out loud. It was gone. Because the truth is, I wanted to have the freedom to say what I wanted to say. And it didn't have to be in front of that person or with the person. So it's really that easy a lot of times. And we don't have to dig so deep because really, who cares? We're all going to die really soon. I mean, not to sound morbid, but I don't know, Mel. Digging is boring. I think maybe if you've done it, like I've done it for over 20 years. Mel's done it only for a few years, and we're both in the board space, right? So it doesn't matter like you spent 20 years digging or just a few years digging. At some point, and I think a lot of people are starting to awaken to this point, you're just bored because it's endless.
Yeah. And the truth is too, I'm so sick of this story, like the story of like the cruelty, like everything on like the news and documentaries and shows. It's just so dark. And all it is it's telling people stories of like how horrible their life was. And then some that'll have an ending where it's like, oh, good. Like they finally like figured something out or whatever. And it's like, that's kind of where it ends. It's like, it's just getting boring. It's like same story, same book, same everything. I'm like, where are the inspirational stories? Like really, like the ones that's like it doesn't end in this dog eat dog world or whatever, where it's someone's being cruel to somebody else and putting them down and so much pain and violence and whatever. Like, can we just show these inspiring stories of someone making a difference in the world? Like, I want more of those stories of people like creating beautiful change. Like, can we start showing those movies? And like just this higher vibration that can inspire people to meet them best selves, those that are tapping into their heart space and like being brave and courageous that way. And I don't know.
I totally agree. They need to stop the whole. It's another thing. I completely agree. Like there are these movies. Every movie has to be like either it starts, we were so happy, and then something horrible. If you notice Disney movies, every mother has to die. Like there has to be someone who's been orphaned at a very young age, right? So it's like happy, and then the most miserable, most horrible, heart-wrenching experience on the planet, and then they find themselves. So we've been fed that is what the journey looks like, right? Like what you're saying, like it can't just not a normal. You can have a normal life. You can self-discover and open up. You don't have to go through hell. It doesn't have to be that you were like, no, you had no money, you had no health, you had no partner, you had no family, you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be so gross, because these are the stories that Mel's talking about. It's the story. We have to have a survival story, like the winner story, the hero story happen. And how could I be a hero of my story if I didn't eat shit and die before I become the hero? right? And that's what we need to change. It's like the healing world, the word, the same thing.
Well, and the truth is, I don't even see the self discovery at the end. What happens is they go through hell, and then they get their payback, and then the credits roll. The story ends of them, and you're just happy. Good, they killed the other person. They beat the bad guy because he was horrible. And then it ends every time. There's no self discovery. There's nothing above that. I'm like, we're just above survival, but this dude didn't survive, but he was an a hole, so whatever. And it's like the end. Like, it's just cruel.
Yes, they kill the person. It's like it's a revenge thing. It's like, oh, now the bad person died, right?
But we're happy.
That's why they're free.
That's the happy ending. I'm like, okay, yeah. No, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. I'm ready for something more. I really hope the world is ready to expand, but I know it starts within me. I have to figure it out myself. That's how it works. I can't point the fingers. I can't say, oh, this is ridiculous, because truth is, I've been in that same phase of life. I've watched those movies. I've enjoyed those movies, and I'm just getting to this point where I'm like, it's getting boring. It's like, can we tell some different stories? Can someone be creative? But the truth, it's not going to happen, because who are the creators? Us incredible humans. They're the ones that have a thought, they have an idea, they have a story in their head, and then they get someone to visualize it and have it come and create it in where people can see it and feel it and add music and all this stuff. But that's why it's the same thing, is because it's showing us where mankind is right now. And it's not going to change until each of us go into our inner work. And then we're like, all right. And then you get those creative people that know how to create videos and movies and tell the story, and they start teaming up together. But it's going to take each of us doing our inner work to break that cycle, which is where me and Rain are just trying to figure it out. We don't have it figured out. We're not going to say we do, but at least we're on that path. At least we're putting energy into that. And that just feels really good. Whether we make it there or not, at least I'm putting energy there. And the truth is, where we put our energy, it grows. So it's really hopeful. I don't have any fears of when the other shoe's going to drop, or it's fake, or it's false, or it's not real, or whatever. It's like, no, this is real, and I'm feeling it. And even just having this conversation, having a deep conversation and talking about this is like, it feels good. And it's authentic, and it's time for a shift. Starting with me.
Yeah. Same here. Definitely starting with me too. And I think we both, this is what's exciting us about this podcast is new ideas, new ways of thinking, things to drop, just drop. Right? Like, don't even be like, oh, shall I release? No, just drop. Right? Like, just get rid of it. Just finish. No more healing. And, we want to ask you, Mel will ask the question. We want to ask you questions so that you guys can also respond and interact with us. We'd love that. So that we have more of your energy with us playing and, passing the ball and giving your opinion. So what do you think of healing, and what would your life look like if you chose to stop healing for a week? Let's say for a week you take a break from anything to do with healing and you just live your life like there's nothing wrong with you, like there's nothing to fix, that you've been healed and now you're done with healing. Like somebody gave you a certificate and said, here you go, you have been certified, you're 100% healed, go and play. What would you do with your life? And please comment and share. You even have videos or photos, anything. Share with us, how was this week of no healing? How did it turn out? How did you feel? What did you end up doing? Right? And maybe they can post on Instagram this information. What do you think, Mel?
I love that. That would be so fun. Oh, please interact with us. Let's do this together. Me and Rain are going to be playing. We're going to be getting on. We're going to be having great conversations every week. We join you to listen, but also we want you to be a part of this, like be a part of our tribe of let's grow, let's expand together. Hopefully you feel our energy, you feel safe, you feel like just that this is a safe place to kind of play with us. And we're really serious about this, and it's just exciting and it's fun. And the self-discovery is, I really like that word, to just replace the other one. I'm going to just self-discover me, and that's fun and that's exciting. And there's no shame, there's no blame. It's just like, okay, I experienced that other stuff before. I got to felt what hell felt like. And it was like, okay, now I know what that feels like. And I'm like, I don't feel like I want to play there anymore. And there's even no shame there of how long I was there or whatever. It was like, okay, like I really know what that feels like. So now when I start to get into that, the pendulum, then I just know, oh, we're going a little far this way. Let me come back to alignment. And that's good. Now I'm like very clear on what that feels like to know when I'm off alignment. And now I'm way more sensitive to it than I was before. Before I had a very high pain tolerance, I realized emotionally, physically, like everything. It was just, I would put up with a lot. I could get trampled on or hurt in any way. And I just like would pride myself on having this high pain tolerance. And now I'm realizing, oh, that was a trauma response, nothing to be proud of. I'm feeling good about coming into this alignment of being very sensitive and knowing, oh, I'm off track, and being able to come back on. And it just feels lighter and freer and not as heavy. And it's good. So, yes, comment below and share all of the things. Yep. Oh, I think your thing just went muted, Rain. I didn't hear you when you were talking. Oh, it's still quiet. We're having technical difficulties. No worries. Maybe her mic went out. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Do you want me to wrap things up, Rain, or do you want to share more? I can't hear you right now.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yay.
So
She's
irritating. My mic battery died.
It's gonna happen. Technical, it's fine. She's back. She's back. That's all that matters.
Yeah, no, I think I'm terrifically good. And you? Well,
Yeah.
We can wrap it up.
Yeah. No,
Thank
this is
you, guys.
great. Thanks for joining us on the Mel and Rain conversation today on the healing and not having to focus on that being a purpose or anything like that. Just be you and put more time into what lights you up, what's fulfillment to you. And then yes, please do comment below on share with us what you did that brought you joy, some extra fun things that you did or was fulfilling to you. And please like and subscribe. That helps us grow, and comment. That helps us grow. That helps the algorithm. So it really does help when you comment. Plus, we want to interact with you, and we do want to hear what you guys are playing with and working on, or playing with, not working. And then we did get set up a Buy Me a Coffee account. So we have this website. We're going to put the link in the show notes so you can click on there on just the description. If you love what we're creating and you want to help us grow more, you can just donate a little bit or whatever it is that you want for that. We also have some really cool, Rain has some awesome digital downloads.
Digital downloads. Yes,
that's the word. And we've got some jewelry on there and some products on there. So check it out. Just know any of the money that comes in will help us grow this podcast and keep doing what we love and our passion. We just super appreciate it. And yeah, I think that's everything. Have a great week. And make sure to follow us on the socials too. We're gonna do a lot of fun stuff there. So we'll put the links there in the description so you can follow all of us, all of the things that we're doing, and stay connected with us. So I guess we'll just see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.